Hello everyone, Morgan here. So today I'm going to be talking about round 2 of panic buying. So I've been hearing and seeing some weird things that are going out of stock. And I want to hear from you guys what you are seeing that you maybe find a little weird, that is going out of stock, or you're starting to see panic buying again. I think with number one, the election's coming up, and number 2, people fearing, more lockdowns. 3, just a loss of distribution. There's a few things that's going on with our distribution chains right now. First of all, China is not producing as much. And 2, there's some disruptions in our distribution chains because of natural disasters, like what's happening in Ohio with the corn. There was a huge storm. It destroyed a bunch of fields. It destroyed a bunch of grain mills. And so we're going to probably be seeing a little bit of shortage on corn and maybe some increase in corn prices. But, these things happen all the time. It's not just the pandemic that we have to be concerned with. It's that our agricultural supply chains are disrupted all the time, and mainly due to natural disasters. Natural disasters cause billions in agricultural damage all the time, every single year. And we don't really hear about it all that much. It doesn't make a huge mainstream media, right? And so, even with the Iowa corn, you're not seeing a lot of coverage on it. Now, I've seen a lot of coverage on it simply because I've been following certain people that share really good news and all that. And then I've been following up on it. And a lot of grain mills and some agriculture in Iowa has been damaged. And so, when you think about agricultural damage, we have to consider the fact that it's not as easy to just pick up and just oh, whatever, I'm just going to redo the fields and redo the corn and redo all this. It can take 1 to 2 to 3 years to recover, for farmers to recover from this stuff. So it takes a really long time for recovery. Floods happen all the time. All these things are always happening to agriculture. So we have to be constantly aware of these certain supply chain disruptions that have nothing to do with the pandemic, okay? But right now, something that I've been seeing a shortage of, toasters. Now, this may be localized to my area, but this makes me wonder because I posted this on Twitter and a lot of people were like, no, I still see toasters in my area. There's still toasters available on Amazon, but in my local stores, I've checked 3 different stores, 2 different Walmarts and one hardware store, a local hardware store, and then a Walmart 100 miles away from me. I didn't go specifically for the toaster, but I went 100 miles away. It's just the nearest hub to us. And that Walmart had 0 toasters. Here's a picture. See all those display toasters? Yeah, there's supposed to be a whole bunch of box toasters there, and there's nothing. Now, I looked at the other appliances. There was nothing that I could see that was a shortage of other items. I saw a plethora of all the other items. I could get any other appliance that I wanted to. Well, except for freezers. Yeah, I've been able to get freezers for months and months and months. We literally stumbled upon our freezer. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this again because this pandemic has been so weird. The things that we're seeing that are that we're seeing in shortages have been a little unpredictable. With this whole Toastergate, we're calling it Toastergate on Twitter, this whole Toastergate thing really caught me off guard. I suddenly just wanted a toaster because we're settled in and we can start kind of building our appliances again. We're going to be building a house soon, so we can start building our appliances. And I just wanted a toaster. I didn't want to take my bread in tongs anymore, okay? I just wanted a toaster. I just want my toast to be toasted. And so anyway, I was just looking for it and suddenly they're all gone. It's seemingly overnight. I don't remember ever hearing that toasters have been out of stock before this week. So it's really hard to predict the next thing that's going to be out of stock. You know that masks are short supply, although they're coming back with a vengeance. They're kind of being oversupplied at this point. Hand sanitizer, again, being oversupplied at this point, but you can't find rubbing alcohol. I mean, that's almost impossible. Bleach, that's hit or miss, kind of just depends. And most food in the majority of areas are still are kind of in good supply. And toilet paper, that's been in pretty good supply as well. People are they saw the demand during this pandemic, and now they're kind of oversupplying. And so I think we're definitely seeing an oversupply of things, but I think that this pandemic is just always surprising you. So if there's something that you have thought, hey, maybe I should look into that or invest in that, why don't you go ahead and check that out? And if you have to get it from Amazon, that's fine. I just wanted to find it, at a local store. I didn't want to go get it from Amazon. I just wanted to go find it. I wanted to go support my local hardware store, but they didn't have it. Anyway, my local hardware store actually did have alcohol the other day. So if you guys are looking for specialty items, consider going to your local hardware store, the local hardware store, and you may be able to find stuff. Not Home Depot and Lowe's, but you may be able to find some things at those smaller shops, or they could be out too. Again, it's so up in the air. But I do think that we're going to start seeing some panic buying. When I go to get the sugar and flour, I'm seeing shortages, but I am still seeing plenty on the shelf, but I'm not seeing fully stocked. You know what I mean? So like normally when you go to get a sugar or flour, it's fully stocked. But now, I'm starting to see shortages of syrup as well. And then of course, ammo and reloading supplies and guns, they've all been short. There's a huge shortage on all that stuff, mainly because it's an election year, but also mainly because of all the protests going on and people waking up to the fact that they're their own self-defense and they're their own defenders. So a bunch of wild and crazy things going on right now. So I see plenty of beans and rice, and I see plenty of pastas, soups. I am still seeing shortages of canned vegetables and canned fruits and things like that. But I really want to know what you guys are starting to see again in the shortages. I heard that lumber was really short in supply in some places. A lot of these shortages that we're seeing are localized for a variety of reasons. It could be any number of reasons, but it could also be, a supply chain disruption because of China, because of a food chain disruption, because of a natural disaster. It could just be, it could be because of the pandemic, because, they're having to shut down plants or whatever the case may be, right? So there's a variety of factors here. I think the main point that we're thinking of is really keep focusing on that, stocking up the very best that you can. Find alternatives for things that you can't find. And also just try to be as self-sufficient as possible. Figure out how to make these things yourself. Don't just think about buying things, but how do you make these things yourself? How do you actually, is there a way to make your own hand sanitizer? Of course there is. Is there a way to make your own disinfecting wipes? Of course there is. Is there a way to make your own yeast? Yes. And I'm actually going to show you that in an upcoming video. Even if it's small things like having a little microgreens on your windowsill, that's a big step forward, okay, to being just that little bit more self-sufficient, okay? Take those little steps, and please let me know in the comments down below any predictions that you may have or anything that you're seeing in your local area. Thank you all so much for watching Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing Today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.